Dark Shadows, number 133. VTR 122066, air 122866, take one.
My name is Victoria Winters. Someone who used to live in Collinsport has returned, and her return has affected the lives of many people. Particularly one man, whose life was changed by her many years ago.
Oh, I don't want to hear about the cannery or the stock market. Something happens here that changes everything. The one person who can prove I wasn't driving the car that night 10 years ago has just turned up. Yes, Blair, Laura Collins. I'd given her up. They told me her case was hopeless at the sanitarium. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, here at the hotel. No. I don't know what her plans are. I'm going to find out. This woman has the power to give me the one thing I want most in this life, and I intend to get it.
Just as one man is driven by a desperate kind of hope, so is another driven by confusion and fear.
Morning. Hey, how about some breakfast?
No, thanks.
You gotta eat something.
I don't want anything to eat.
Pop, you haven't been eating breakfast the last couple of days. As far as I can remember, you haven't been eating much of anything.
I don't want to hear anything about my drinking habits this morning.
Well, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the habit of eating to keep the body supplied with all the necessary vitamins.
Vitamin. What's that, a new brand of bourbon?
Yes, that's just what it is. Except that it comes in a solid state, and it looks like eggs. That's on the table right now. How about having some?
Oh, I couldn't. Maggie, I couldn't.
Why not?
Oh, it would just stick in my throat, that's all.
Hey, Pop, what's the matter? Why are you going on like this?
Nothing.
Hey, something's bugging you.
Yeah, well, something's always bugging me.
I mean, more than usual.
It's my privilege. It's one of the privileges of the Constitution of the United States. Guarantees me the right to be bugged whenever and wherever I so choose.
Okay, that's your privilege.
Also, the right of privacy.
That, too. But whatever this is, it's getting at you like nothing I've ever seen before.
Maggie, you're going to be late for work.
I've got time. Time enough to see that you eat something.
Oh, I won't die of starvation.
Well, come on over to the inn, then. I'll give you lunch, or whatever you want.
Yeah. Sure, do that.
You gonna get some work done today?
Sure.
Oh, you keep saying that, and I don't see you doing much.
Maggie, I'm working on a canvas now. Why do you keep checking on me?
Because you got too much talent to waste. Hey, what's the subject
Leave
matter?
me alone!
What's the matter?
Don't look at it.
Pop, you've never covered a canvas before.
Well, it's always the first time.
But why cover this?
Because it's it's a new work in progress, and I don't want anybody to see it.
Even me?
That's right.
Pop, you always let me see your work. And you always ask my opinion about it, too.
Why do you think I covered it if I didn't want you to see it? Now, why do you just leave me alone about the whole thing?
All right, Pop, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to push you.
Maggie, I appreciate your interest, your belief in me, your support. Honest, I do.
You know, you've been acting this way ever since that woman came in the restaurant.
Oh? What's that got to do with it?
Well, did you ever find out who she is?
Yeah.
Is she who you thought she was?
Yes.
Who is she?
Laura Collins.
Oh. Hey, what has she got to do with you?
Well, the fog. Very heavy. Not good for the fishermen.
Pop, what has she got?
Laura? Laura? Laura, it's me, Burke. Morning, Maggie.
Hello, Bert. How about some coffee?
Good idea.
Well, you won't say that after you drink it.
Maggie, I'm looking for someone.
Well, who?
A woman. She's living here at the inn, so she must have come in here.
Is she blonde and very attractive?
Yes. Have you seen her?
Well, there is a woman that used to live here. Yeah.
Well, is that the one that I'm looking
You're
for?
talking
Do you know?
about Laura Collins.
Yes, yes. Have you seen her?
Not yet. She mentioned that she knew you.
Oh, yeah? What'd she say about it?
Well, I said that you had a big chip on your shoulder, and she said you weren't always that way.
Did she? That's interesting. What else did she say?
Well, that was about all on the subject of you.
Did she say why she'd come back?
Not exactly. Visiting was the impression I got.
How did she seem?
What do you mean?
Her behavior?
Oh, she was very nice to me.
Nothing unusual about it?
Well, she seemed a little nervous, not too sure of herself. I suppose you might even say she was strange.
Strange?
I don't even know what I'm trying to say. She comes in, sits quietly, alone, doesn't want to talk much, doesn't eat much. As a matter of fact, she doesn't eat anything. She just sits there with a cup of coffee, which she seldom drinks. I don't think she's finished a cup yet.
Well, I'll get a little more coffee, okay?
Help yourself. You know, I was just a kid, but I remember that you used to go with her.
Yeah, she was quite a girl. I don't think I've ever met anyone as exciting or as much fun to be with.
When a man says that about a woman, she must have meant an awful lot.
Yeah. Yeah. If she'd married me, a lot of lives would have been different in this town.
You never got her out of your system. She's married, or had you forgotten?
That is, no, never was a marriage. It never could be either.
What does her coming back mean to you?
To me, I've been waiting 10 years to talk to her. 10 years to wait. 10 years to hear her say a few important words.
Hello, Pop.
Fine.
Well, hello, Sam.
Finally got hungry.
Hello. Yes, I guess. A
Sit
little-
down.
Well, I wouldn't want to.
No, come on, sit down. I'm just leaving.
No, I didn't mean.
Relax, Sam. Things are looking up.
That's so?
Yes, this town's just about ready to come alive.
Oh, what does that mean?
You'll never guess who's back.
Who?
The one person who can change everything. Laura Collins.
That's so.
How does that grab you?
It doesn't.
I bet. Start sweating, Sam.
did he mean when he said you should start sweating?
Oh, that's the way he likes to talk. He likes to hear the sound of his voice when he acts tough.
Oh, come on, Pop. This is Maggie you're talking to. Now, what did he mean?
Well, didn't mean anything.
I don't believe that.
You don't believe it.
Why did you act like you didn't know that Laura Collins was back in town?
I didn't say I didn't know she was back in town.
You made it seem that way.
You're imagining it.
What does Laura Collins mean to you?
Nothing.
Pop, you've got to be honest, please.
Listen, I thought I came here to get something to eat. I didn't expect an interrogation.
Pop, I'm sorry. Sit down.
Oh, never mind. I lost what little appetite I had anyhow.
Hello, Sam.
Hello?
Do you remember me? Laura Collins.
Yes, yes. Of course I remember you.
It's been a long time.
Yes, a lot of years.
Well, you look the same.
Alcohol is a preservative. Well, you're just as beautiful as ever.
Hardly. How are you painting these days?
Well, I'm still resisting abstractionism. I seem to be painting the same fishing boats 50 times, the same seascapes. I still paint my portraits like the people who commission them.
Good for you.
Back in town for good this time?
Well, I don't know.
Uh-huh. Well, have you seen your family yet?
All except David.
Yes. He's a good-looking boy.
So they've told me.
Well, I didn't think we'd ever see you again.
Well, you almost didn't.
Yeah. I know you weren't too happy when you were here. Whatever made you come back?
Let's just say some unfinished business.
I see. Well, I hope you accomplish everything that you came back to do.
I hope so, too.
Well, maybe I'll see you when you're here.
Maybe.
Yeah. Well, I've got a wet canvas waiting for me. It's nice to have you back. Goodbye.
Thank you.
Bye, Maggie.
Bye, Pop.
So you're Sam's daughter.
In person.
Well, the risk of sounding ancient, I think I remember you when you were this high. I wish I'd known sooner.
Well, as a matter of fact, we were all wondering who you were.
Oh?
I'm a little ashamed.
Why?
Well, confession time. I've been trying to find out who you were for the last couple of days.
Oh, were you?
Yeah. Do you remember the other day when you came in? You sat with your back to the rest of the room. And my father came in and he saw you from behind. But he said you looked familiar, but he couldn't quite figure out who you were.
Well, he should have introduced himself.
Well, this may be hard to believe, but he must have been a little shy. He asked me to find out. Now, you must have been aware of all of my questions.
Well, I was, but I understand.
You know, your arrival in this town has caused a lot of interest.
What do you mean?
Well, Burke Devlin was in here just a little while ago, and he was looking for you.
Oh.
He must have turned the town inside out trying to find you.
I see.
You know, he's a very thorough man. I can't imagine how you eluded him.
Well, I've been off by myself a great deal.
Well, I'd say he wanted to see you very badly.
Well, I can understand that.
In fact, he said he'd been waiting 10 years to see you.
Oh, Burke has always been a very determined person.
Well, he asked a lot of questions about you.
I'm sure he did.
I'd say that you were very much on his mind.
Could I ask you a tremendous favor?
Well, sure, if it's possible.
Well, if you see Burke again and he asks about me, would you say you haven't seen me?
Okay.
I know I'll have to face him ultimately, but I'd really rather not do so just now.
Hello, Laura.
Hello, Burke.
This is something I never expected.
Nor I.
Can we talk?
Well, I was just leaving.
It'll just take a minute.
All right.
I've been waiting 10 years for this moment. 10 years of planning this conversation. Considering what I would say. Wondering whether to be angry or calm. Wondering what you would say. Now that the moment's here, I find myself at a loss for words.
Well, let me try then. How are you, Burke?
In a word, bitter.
Well, I knew you would be.
Did I have an alternative?
None whatever.
Thank you. At least I wasn't wrong about that. Is it possible you're more beautiful than I imagined? How are you, Laura?
Well, I don't know. Perhaps I'm a great deal better off than ever before.
You've changed.
In what way?
I don't know. But you're different. Very different. I can sense it.
Well, I've been through a lot.
I tried to see you at the sanitarium. They said your condition was hopeless.
Well, they thought so. It's been quite a struggle to get where I am. To do what I'm doing.
Now, what are you doing? Why did you come back to town?
To do what has to be done.
You know, you've given me the most hope I've had in years. Have you seen Roger yet?
Yes.
I bet he was thrilled to see you.
Well, it's not important. I've come back because I know now what it is I want more than anything else.
What's that?
David.
I'm glad to hear you say that. The boy needs you.
I need him. More than you can imagine. Have you seen him?
Many times. We've become very good friends. He confides in me.
Does he? Well, I'm very happy to hear that.
He's an unusual kid. Very bright, very sensitive. He doesn't take to too many people, but for some reason, he's taken to me.
Well, you were always very easy to take to.
Was I?
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to remember what I was like in those days.
Well, I can remember.
I'll tell you something about David. He's the kind of son I would like to have had. He's the kind of son we could have had.
Yes, Burke. Exactly the kind.
He's very much like you, the way you used to be.
Well, I'm not that way anymore.
How do you stand with Roger?
I've asked him for a divorce and for custody of David.
And if you get those things, what then?
Well, I'll make a new life for David and myself.
I see. But let me talk about the practical realities for a moment. I came back to Collinsport to prove my innocence. You're the key to that, Laura. How do you feel about that?
Well, I must solve my own problems first. Then and only then will I be able to deal with the other practical realities.
But they will be dealt with, won't they?
They will. Well, it's been very nice seeing you. I trust we'll meet again.
We will. I assure you.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
No.
An Indian tribe seeks revenge, and the Monroes find themselves caught in the middle of an impending battle in tonight's drama. Watch the Monroes at 8, 7 o'clock Central Time in color on ABC. On behalf of our sponsors, we would like to wish you a very happy holiday season. Dark Shadows is a Dan Curtis production.